I've been thinking. I've been living life like another Katrina is about to happen. Hurricane Katrina. See, about 20 something years ago, I was living in New Orleans, and of course Hurricane Katrina came. Being from New Orleans, you never really go anywhere because everyone's used to storms, so you just kind of hunker down. But this time, we had a daughter. She was young. Actually, she probably maybe was a year old. So we typically would leave because, you know, when you have a young kid, you don't want to get caught in any kind of bad situation. So we decided to leave. Like about a day or so ahead, we evacuated to Houston, Texas. And of course, the rest is history. But I never officially went back home. And that pumped the fear in me that anything can happen at any moment. And I realized I've been living in survival mode since that day. Moving around from city to city. Actually went from Houston to Atlanta, from Atlanta to DC to Philadelphia. Well, at the time, I was doing some production work at Harrah's Casino, New Orleans. So I was able to transfer to Harrah's Casino, Caesars and Bally's in Atlantic City in the entertainment department. So I had a steady job. We had a steady life. Everything was, in normal people's eyes, was going well. But for me, I was sitting around waiting for another Katrina to happen. It caused a lot of arguments in my home sometime because I used to always tell my wife, you never know. We're not prepared for another Katrina to happen. And because of that, I stopped doing a lot of things that I probably should have done in terms of enjoying life. So I put all my time into working. Let's sit down for a moment. Such a beautiful day in Brooklyn. And I started to be almost afraid to do anything outside of just work and come home. Because I didn't want to be caught in a situation that we were in. And you understand, 20 years ago, when Katrina happened, that means I was 20 years younger. So I still was going through a lot of firsts in my life. Though I did a few things, it still didn't really have a lot of responsibilities in life. When my wife and I moved in together, at the time she was my girlfriend, that was the very first time I actually was away from living at home. So everything was still new to me. And I know that's where a lot of the fear came in, because I didn't know how to survive outside of New Orleans because it was comfortable for me. It was home and everyone was there. If anything happened, we just go back home to your mother's house or go back home to your grandmother's house. So I've been living this cycle for over 20 years. And it's survival mode. And I have been in survival mode even when I don't need to be in survival mode. You literally, it's just a cycle. Waiting for Katrina to happen, sitting in survival mode. And as we know, nothing never happened. And there's a part of me that still sits in survival mode.